Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelly Anderson, and I would like to welcome all of you to ISS Group's Business Process Improvement demonstration titled Cost Savings via eProcurement. In this 30-minute presentation, my colleague Mike Markowitz will demonstrate how the 21st century organization uses our process digitization methodology along with our business process improvement solutions, iPurchase, which is an application of iApprove, our routing engine, to create a purchase order requisition and a purchase order. In this week's presentation, we will focus on efficiencies and cost savings realized using supplier e-commerce shopping and supplier catalog shopping. iPurchase will allow your organization to link your ERP system with all major suppliers to enable a user to order items on a supplier's website and to pull this data back into iPurchase for approval. Once the items are approved, a purchase order will be created in your ERP solution. iPurchase has the ability to import suppliers' catalogs along with users' visibility and access to all supplier items without leaving iPurchase solution. To quote one of our very good clients, AF Global, who is a world leader in fully integrating and manufacturing and supply chain solution, they have stated, and it's on our website, that we have saved them hundreds of thousands of dollars using ISS Group's iPurchase solution. We'll show you how this is accomplished in this short 30-minute presentation. And with that, I'll pass this back over to Mike Markowitz to begin the demonstration. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Kelly, for the introduction. As Kelly stated from the beginning, we are going to go over two functions of iPurchase. We're going to do punch-outs and catalog requisitions. I'm going to bring up a screen now, which is iPurchase rec entry screen. You'll notice a lot of the fields are blank. This is header information for a requisition, but we are going to go straight into the punch-out requisitions. So if a user wanted to do a punch-out, they would click on the punch-out button on the bottom toolbar. Once they click this button, a screen appears with all the punch-out vendors your organization has set up within iPurchase. To set up a punch-out, all you need to do is contact the supplier to get the information needed to be able to access their website through iPurchase. So let's move forward and discuss how we go through a punch-out. So you would pick one of these requisitions, one of these vendors. I'm going to click CDW. When I click CDW, what happens is I actually get logged into their website. You'll notice on the top here, it welcomes me as a John Crane user. We are signed into this system as John Crane. And since we are signed into the system, we now have the contracted pricing between your organization and CDW. What this allows is for all the prices for all different types of items to be up to date as to when the user will enter or add a requisition to iPurchase. So what we're going to do is we are going to add some items to the cart. Now you can just go through and add some items to the cart. You can add them from a recent quote or a recent order that was placed. We're just going to use the search functionality. So I'm going to type in laptop, and I'm going to search for laptops. Now, since we're on the CDW website, it's going to use all of the CDW functionality in order to find items that you would like to use for your requisition. So first we're going to just pick this laptop, and I'm going to also add the warranty, and I'm going to click Add All Items to Cart. I'm going to go back to the search results, and I'm going to also add this notebook, and the mouse. Once the user has all the items that they would like, they can come to the cart screen. Here's the shopping cart screen within CDW, and they can update the quantity. They can remove items if they don't want them, or they can check out. Now, the process of checking out is a little different through doing the punch-out. Usually, when a person goes to CDW, when they go to checkout, they would need to use a credit card in order to purchase the items, and then they would be shipped directly to them. When we hit checkout now, we come to a screen that says, do you want to transfer the shopping cart? And if we click the transfer shopping cart button, what will happen is all the items will be transferred into iPurchase. So let's go ahead and do this. I click transfer shopping cart, and here we are. So now we're in iPurchase, okay? As you can see, all the header information in the top has been entered. So now I have CDW as the supplier, their supplier number, their phone number, their email address, the ship to, bill to, the site, the buyer, the type of requisition, but you can change this type if you'd like, if it's a different type of requisition. These requisition types are added to the system settings by your organization. So I can go into a line item, but I can't edit the pricing. And the reason I can't edit the pricing is because the pricing comes directly from CDW. So we know that this pricing has been contracted and is 100% accurate. So we do not allow the user to change the pricing. This goes for all the punch-out items that have come back into the system. Now, you can add new items to it if you'd like. Maybe you need something else that goes along with this requisition. But again, you cannot change the pricing of the line items. You can change the department of the site, but you can't change the line items. I mean the cost, excuse me. What a user would then do is they would submit the requisition. And as you can see from the top, it has not yet been submitted. So all you need to do is click the submit button. And when you click the submit button, now it will go through the approval process. Once it goes through all of these users or approvers, it will be, a PO will be created in QAD, and then it will also be sent to the supplier for them to fulfill the order. So this is definitely a little different than just shopping on CDW and using your credit card to check out. So you can see how this would be a huge cost savings for your organization, because now, first of all, they don't have to look for specific items. It's much easier to do that on the CDW website, and the pricing is already fixed based on the contract that you put together with the supplier. This ease of operation will then ease the cost savings that will come to you based on trying to do all of this requisition and approvals by hand, or as we like to call it, analog, compared to digital. Now, this is just one type of functionality within iPurchase to create a requisition. Obviously, you can create a requisition manually, or you can do a catalog requisition. And the difference between a catalog requisition and a punch-out requisition is that a catalog is imported into the system. And as you can see, there's an import and export button associated to the top toolbar. Now, only users with the correct rights have the ability to import a catalog into iPurchase. Once the user imports the catalog, it will go through an approval process, and once the catalog is approved, it will then show up in the catalog requisition. So let's start adding some items to the catalog. I'm going to first pick Independence Business Supply, and as you can see, there's a hierarchy here of product types and classifications. So I'm going to go into segment, I'm going to pick tools. Then I'm going to pick hand tools and family, and as you can see, as I keep picking, the list grows smaller and smaller, or more specific. I'm going to pick holding and clamping tools, and then the only items I can pick are retaining written pliers. So I'm going to add this one, this item to my cart. I'm going to add this item to my cart. So as you can see, it works the same way as a punch-out by using a cart and then checking out. But what I want to show is I can also search without a supplier. I can just go in and start at the segment and then pick the family. And then I can, as you can see, I have more classes here because I'm now searching between multiple suppliers. So if I pick sealing tools and I have a play knife, you'll notice there's HP. And I'm going to add 5 of these to the cart. Now, before I check out, I also want to show you that I can, if I clear the filter, I can search on keywords. So if I type in, let's say, tools in here, and I click enter, I will now pull up all the items that are related to tools or to the search of tools. So, and you can see I have independent business supplier, and I should have other suppliers related on this list. Another way of adding items to a requisition is you can use a favorites. So you can build these favorites. So if I go in and I click on Mike's favorites, now I can add items to my favorite list just by clicking the heart here with the plus sign. So I can add this, and it will tell me items added to favorites. I can click this, items added to favorites. Now, if I clear the filter and I go back into Mike's favorites and I click search, these are all of the items that I have put into my favorites folder. Now, this is very cost savings because it saves users a lot of time. Let's say a user likes to order certain things. Let's say they have to order them once a month. Well, this will allow the user to save their favorite items that they may use for that order every month. So it saves a lot of time with the search process. So now that we've gone through all of the search capabilities through catalogs, let's go to View Cart. So when I click the View Cart, you'll notice I get a pop-up window. And I have 3 items in my cart. I have 2 from Independent Business Supply, and I have 1 from HP. Well, I can now reduce the quantities, I can delete the items, I can empty the whole cart, all from this screen. I don't have to go to any other screens in the system. This functionality makes it a lot easier than having to go back into the cart before and trying to find the items. But let's check out. So when I check out now, what happens is my cart gets saved, and now 2 requisitions were created. So 4021 and 4022. And the reason this happened was because my cart had 3 items in it from 2 different suppliers. So we now have added requisitions to the systems based on the supplier. So let's go into Rec Inquiry for right now. And you'll see I have 4022 and 4021. They're both not submitted, but they have 2 different suppliers in. And they're both expense recs. If I go in, I can still change the the requisition type to a different type of requisition type if I like, because the requisition has not yet been submitted. You'll notice that it put, again, the supplier in with the supplier number. Their terms are here, phone numbers, the supplier contact, the supplier email. My ship-to, build-to site, the buyer for this requisition, that can also be changed if you'd like, who it's on behalf of, who it should be delivered to. I can also add items to this requisition manually if I'd like. But now let's submit it. If I submit it, once again, it's going to go through the approval process. Email notifications are going to go out to all of these approvers in order of level. And once they approve this requisition, it will then get a PO will be created in QAD, and the PO will be sent to the supplier. The system does have the functionality to have a confirmation sent back from the supplier that they have received the PO. So you can see how this can be cost savings, because not only now does the user have to contact the supplier to make sure they got the purchase order, it automatically can happen within the system if you set up the system to use this functionality. No one can. The only way you can change any of the requisition is if you have the rights to be able to change the requisition. iPurchase does give the system administrator the right to give users or approvers the ability to change requisitions while they still are either in the pending process, while they're in the pending status, and once the PO is created, you will have to make a change order in order to change the purchase order. And on that note, I'm going to pass the demonstration back to Kelly for some final comments. I just want to thank everyone for being here to see these two functionalities in iPurchase, punch-outs and catalogs. Kelly, please.
Thank you, Mike. I'd like to thank everybody for joining the webinar today. As you can see by the demonstration that Mike just showed us, by using the iPurchase punch-out capabilities, or even the iPurchase catalog capabilities, you can certainly streamline your vendors that you have negotiated pricing with. You can streamline those vendors down to negotiated contract pricing items, and then allow only your users to view those items from those select vendors and using that contract pricing. So as you can see, you can eliminate maverick spend, and you can streamline spending just with this simple software. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining the webinar today. Again, my name is Kelly Anderson. Please feel free to reach me either through email at kanderson@issgroup.net, through our website at www.issgroup.com, or feel free to reach me by my cell phone or text me at 267-234-4737. Again, thank you everybody for joining today's brief webinar, and we hope you join us next week. Thank you. Have a great day.